Good morning, children. Let's start with today's topic. Our topic is basic problems of an economy. So by basic problems, we mean the economic problems that are fundamental and common to all the economies. Every economy has to face three fundamental and interrelated economic problems, that is what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. Now, what is the meaning of what to produce? So the first central problem which every economy has to face is what to produce. It involves two interrelated things, namely what commodities are to be produced and in what quantity. This means the economy has to decide which goods to be produced and in what quantities. For example, on a given piece of land, all crops cannot be grown. If it is used for growing wheat and pulses, then the economy has to decide about its quantity also. If it decides to produce more of wheat, then it will have to produce less of pulses. Now, the next point is how to produce. The second problem which an economy has to face is how shall the goods be produced. This is the problem of choice of method or technique of production. So, technique of production refers to the method of producing a particular product. So, this means the problem of how to produce means which combination of resources to be used for the production of goods and which technology is to be made use of in production. So, once the society has decided what goods and services are to be produced and in what quantities, it must then decide how these goods shall be produced. So, there are various alternative methods of producing a good and the economy has to choose among them. So, broadly there are two types of techniques of production, namely labor intensive technique and capital intensive technique. Now, what do you mean by labor intensive technique? Labor intensive is when products are mainly produced by human workers. Okay, so labor intensive technique uses more of labor and less of capital to produce a given quantity of output. Children, as you can see in this image, a busy kitchen is one example of labor intensive production. Now, what is capital intensive? Capital intensive is when products are mainly produced by machines and robots. So, capital intensive technique uses more of capital and less of labor to produce the same amount of output. For example, cotton cloth can be produced either by hand loom, that is labor intensive technique, or by power loom, that is capital intensive technique. Now, our last point is for whom to produce. Now, the third problem which an economy faces is for whom to produce. It is the problem of dividing the total output of goods and services produced in an economy among its members, because the resources and the resulting output of the goods are limited. So, the third basic economic decision which must be taken is for whom to produce. Means how the national product is to be distributed among the members of the society. Obviously, goods and services would be acquired by those who can pay for them, that is, those who possess money income. So, distribution of income determine distributions of goods and services. Children, I hope you have understood. Thank you.